I'll be honest, there is a lot of PC cases that perhaps shouldn't exist.
Look at you, son. Look at what you've become.
That's how it is.
Because they look hideous. But then time to time, there's PC case releases that put me in the right mood.
God damn.
This is another brand new case from Fractal, and look at it. Wouldn't you just want to build a PC that looks like that? I'm so glad that Fractal is round.
He keeps killing us, Father. He keeps taking and taking.
Because they make PC cases that look fantastic and are kind of like furniture, part of the decor of the room rather than feeling something odd. So let's take a look at this new mood from Fractal.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry for what I've done.
This video has been brought to you by LG and their OLED and QNED TVs. Upgrade your home cinema experience through the links in the description below, or learn more later on in this video. So in essence, this is a tower case like that. It's rather small. It's meant for ITX cases. It's 20.4 liters in terms of volume. So it's not the smallest of the cases. That Fractal Terra behind there is a lot smaller than this one here, but it looks kind of like a big speaker or something like that. In terms of materials, there is this fabric that's all the way around, apart from the backside, that has this metal frame and a mesh with a dust filter inside. And when you look on the top of the case, there is plastic around here, and the top grill here is metal with a fan. The bottom feet here are plastic as well, but the whole chassis is metal. The way we open this is actually through here. I believe we have to pull this one out. And you can see a magnetic dust filter here that can be removed. Now, in order to remove the rest of the chassis, we have to undo these two screws in here. Once you've undone them, the chassis should just lift up like that, and here we can see the rest of it. Interestingly, looking at the chassis inside, there isn't a mesh all around the PC case. On the sides, it's actually a solid panel, as you can see in there. And then all the way to the other side, there is a little bit of air that can breathe through, because it's got holes in there, and then the mesh is on the other side. So there is potentially some breathing going around from this side as well. In terms of airflow through it, it's not actually very good, because just blowing through it, there's a lot of restriction through this mesh and fabric. It's not entirely awesome. The airflow from the top out is going to be a lot better. We have this cooling bracket where you can mount 240mm fans or up to 280mm radiator for your CPU cooling. Behind there is one 3.5-inch drive bay as well. You'll have to remove that when you want to mount your AIO in there. It does support up to one 3.5-inch drives and two 2.5-inch drive bay installation. Hey, let's briefly talk about today's video sponsor, LG, and their OLED TVs and why they are so special. Firstly, LG's award-winning TVs aren't just slim and sleek. The overall picture quality is second to none. OLED provides you the ultimate experience in color, screen brightness, and vibrancy. Whether in 4K or 8K, the deep blacks and the crispy colors make any content stand out on the TV, including gaming. Secondly, LG offers various different sizes, designs, and budgets to fit your environment and lifestyle. I'm gonna leave 3 of my favorites in the description below. Lastly, a lot of LG TVs have Dolby Vision and Dolby Atmos support, meaning you'll get the best-in-class visuals and sound, and that's why you can see a lot of creators use LG OLED TVs as their main monitors. I'm only scratching the surface of what these TVs are capable of. Check out LG's TV lineup through the description below. Learn more about them and the 3 of my favorites. Thanks LG for sponsoring this part of the video. So removing these 4 screws, the drive bay will come out and we have access to this. Now this CPU bracket should come out with these 2 screws in here. Bear in mind they're slightly different than the chassis screws that we just took out, so keep that in mind. Not all the screws are same in this PC case. And you will be mounting your radiator or AIO down there like this as well. So here we can see a little bit of the inside guts. So your ITX motherboard will go down there, and the I/O of the motherboard will actually come out from the bottom. as you can see from here. So all your cables and whatever, they come here, and the GPU will be going there as well. So GPU IO will go there and motherboard there, and then come out from underneath this part here. You could mount them. As you can see, there's some cable tie or bits in there where you can mount the cables, and your table's going to be quite clean. The power cord, as you can see, this kettle lid will go there. So there is an extension. You'll have to put that there, and then the cord will come out from this side from the bottom. Now your PSU will mount on this side here, and then the PSU cable will be plugged in from the side over there, and then obviously it will go there. Most likely your PSU fan will be facing the other way to suck in the air from that side. Now the interesting thing is this fan on the top here, in terms of the airflow will come from the sides and then out from the top. The nice thing is, because that is naturally where the air is going to go anyway, because hot air rises. But now on the top we have 180mm fan, 38mm thick, so it's a very thick fan, not just a usual 25mm thick. Let's flip this case on the other side. So this is where the GPU is going to go. And because that is the back panel, you know, all the cables will come out from this side. The back panel has the very good ventilation where you had the mesh and airflow. So as you can see here, your GPU is going to get very good airflow and will be cooled down very well. Now the GPU support is actually quite good. In length here, you can put up to 325mm GPU. This is the Asus TUF RTX 4080 Super, but it's exactly the same dimensions as the 4090. Now, unlike the Terra, this one doesn't have a movable spine. So the spine doesn't move, it is fixed. So you'll have to fit your GPU in there just like that. And as you can see, this 4080 is slightly too big. So you're probably going to have to rule out 4090s in this case. What I have here is a Palette 4070 Ti Super. And I want to know if that one fits in there. Oh, that is very, very tight. I am not sure if it goes in there. When the corner is off, even this, it's a little bit too big. So let's take a look at this one. This is Gigabyte 4070 Super, what is it, WindForce? No, Gaming OC. And this one is pretty much ideal what goes into here. I am super curious if the panel is going to close even with this one. Woo-hoo-hoo. Okay, so this just fits. And I think this is pretty much the maximum thickness of a GPU that we can put in there. So even though the GPU could be slightly longer, as you can see here, the thickness is the one that kind of becomes an issue here, and you can't fit any more. So it's just above 2 slots, 2.75 slots. This Gigabyte card fits in there. So roughly we're looking at maybe 4070s, some of the 4070 Supers, depending. So you need to get a slim GPU to put in there. There is a mic and headphone combo jack, USB Type-C, which is 3.2 Gen 2 X2 slot, meaning 20 gigabits in speed supported, and then 2 USB 3.0 ports which are 10 gigabits in speed, and then your power button that has LED all around. One other thing that I can think of is that because this has this fabric around it, it's actually probably gonna result in a little bit of a lower noise levels when just having metal around, because this acts as noise dampening. It just looks absolutely amazing. Is this the case where you're going to build your ultimate powerhouse PC? Probably not, because of the GPU support and CPU cooling support. Now, I am happy that it does support 280mm AIO, which means that pretty much CPU cooling, you're not limited by what CPU you can put in here. The Fractal Terra behind there, you're going to be limited which CPU you can put in there, because the cooling is very, very limited. Here, I can pretty confidently say you can put an i9 in here as well. Obviously, Intel power limits, let's leave them still intact. So as a creator, to have a very powerful CPU, but then kind of a mid to high-end GPU up to 4080 Super ProAd, what I can see what we can put in here is very, very fascinating. Now, if you want to go with AMD and Intel Arc, for example, we can still get QuickSync for video editing. I like how all of the back cables are going to run down like this as well from the desk. The only thing is, if you need to access any I/O, you're going to have to do this and then plug in new cables, and then your cables are all going to just be slotting out like that somehow. So plugging in new IO or something like that might be of an issue. But if you've got one of the Asus Strix mini ITX boards and you've got the Hive, that might be quite nice, because then you've got this coming out from there and then into the Hive, and then you have more IO on the desk as well as the front panel. Let me know how much you need to access the back panel IO, maybe not so often. My conclusion is I am absolutely loving the design of this, and I'm so happy that Fractal exists and we've got companies that make these beautiful minimal looking PC cases. One more thing I forgot to mention is if you want to go with a CPU tower air cooling mode where the air is going to be sucked in from the bottom and then goes up and out from the top, you can have CPU air coolers up to 110 millimeters. Now, I'm not sure why you would want to go air cooling, because it's really better to go AIO, but you can if you wanted to. And it does support SFX-L power supplies there as well. But I'd probably go with SFX because just the cable management is going to be nicer. But if you already have SFX-L power supply, then it's supported there as well. The price for this is $149, which is not bad actually. A beautiful looking PC case with a lot of potential. I'd love to know what you think about it. And would you go with this gray light version or a black version? I think this one looks really, really nice. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. And if you do want to build yourself best bang for buck creator PC, then there's some build guides in the video description below. And you can find Minect there as well. If you want to reach out to ask any questions, I'll always get back to my Minect messages. Thanks guys for watching. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.